All right. Hello, YouTube. We're doing another live stream. We're doing a preview for episode 3. And we're just going to be talking about episode 2 as well, because there's a little bit more I want to talk about with you guys in the stream. I listened to Alt Shift X's podcast. I guess, I don't know. It's basically his YouTube video, but just on Spotify. And I will say that man makes some great content. That's all I'm going to say. Great when I'm taking my daily walk, like 2.5, 3 mile walk. Great content. But yeah, let me know how you guys are doing, and we'll kind of get into what my thoughts are for episode 3. That's how we're gonna start it, and then we'll kind of talk about some things that happened in episode 2 and 1, and maybe where those things are going to be going in the next episode. So, starting out in episode 3, there's a lot of things that I think they need to get to, or that I would like to see them do in episode 3. It's not one of those things where it's like, it has to happen or anything like that, but it was things I would like to see. So, with episode 3, I want to see more Rainies. That's been one of my bigger complaints throughout episode 1 and 2, is that we really haven't seen a lot of Rainies. But yeah, I'm not sure. Also, the Young Wolf brings up a very good point, okay? So what do you think on the name for your community? I don't know yet. Okay, let me go back. What was your suggestions? Give me your suggestions again. If you guys are watching the stream, what should the name for the community or your guys' names be? Liam says the Grease Gobbler. Oh god. Oh god. Maybe I'll do that in a video for around Thanksgiving for you American folk. I'll be dressed up as a grease turkey. Yeah. But episode 3, I want them to get into more Rainies. I want them to get into her character a bit more. She's been kind of shunned away from the spotlight so far, which again makes complete sense. They're going through a lot of characters, and someone mentioned this in a comment on episode 2's review that I was nitpicking, or on episode 1, I guess, about Rainies and Corliss not being in it as much. And I don't think I'm nitpicking. I would say I'm more giving just criticism, as in it's a legit criticism. They're two of the biggest players within the entire, Dance of the Dragons. And also, I'm not going to be someone that is going to blindly just say, yes, I really like it because it is a Song of Ice and Fire stuff. I'm going to try to give legitimate criticism of the show from that point of view. But yeah, let me read your comment. The Grease Grumpkins. Okay, I could see it. The Goblin Order. I like it, but it kind of gets too close to Order of the Green Hand, in my opinion. Matthew, by the way, how are you? I don't know how I feel about that one, because I feel I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that yet. I had to watch 2 unskippable ads to join. Hey, Brett, that's just what happens. Okay, sometimes you get. That's because, Matthew, you have ad block on. Let's be honest. I'm kind of surprised you never get ads going into a stream, because they're supposed to be, but that's kind of surprising to me. But let me get back. I keep getting off of my train of thought. Okay, so yeah, I had somebody basically saying that, but my way of interpreting that is, I still really liked episode 1, and I think I understand why they didn't do those things, but I think they should. I think they should get more into it. The Greasers, I kind of like that. All right, I like that. Well, I'll keep that one in the notepad. Let me do a little screenshot just so I know. Okay, so let's not get off topic anymore, right? Let's not get off topic. Getting into episode 3, I think we need to see more Rainies, like I've talked about. I would like to get a lot of Corliss and Daemon, since we didn't get really a lot of Daemon in the last episode. We kind of saw him for a couple scenes here and there, and then he was kind of gone. So I kind of hope we see a little bit more about that and the Stepstones as a whole, because we really haven't seen the Stepstones much at all, right? In Fire and Blood, it's kind of oh yeah, there's some wars there. We don't really see much about it, right? We don't know much about the Crab Feeder in House, or not House, Fire and Blood. We don't really know too much about his character. Alt Shift X did a really good job, maybe predicting what his character could be about. If you guys have not heard his live stream or his Spotify, basically he was thinking about it, was like, oh, maybe he back in the past was someone that had this done to him, where like he was tied down and the crabs ate him. In the books, it's a bit different. In the books, it's kind of like he ties people down so that the like tide would come in and basically drown them. That was more of the thing of what he was kind of going for. It was very much kind of like a Greyjoy type thing, or I guess the Ironborn type deal. But they went for more of the crab route, which I think is a bit more interesting and it makes his character a bit more interesting. So I'm interested to see if we get more of a backstory there, or if this guy is just going to be someone that's just crazy, more or less. I'm part Irish. I'm just lucky. That's fair. Daron is cut from the show. That's not what you like to see. That's not what you like to see, Liam. I can't wait to start watching Game of Thrones. Yeah, Brett, you need to do that. I don't know what your problem is. You just join the streams, but then you don't. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with you. But so that'll be interesting. I'm excited to see that in episode 3. So I think we're going to see a decent amount of that and kind of the beginning of the war. I don't think it's going to be something where they resolve the conflict in one episode. I think it's something where we're going to kind of see the starting of the war and kind of how they approach that. Because the thing I think was really cool about that war in Fire and Blood, and what made it interesting, is that the Velaryons and Daemon himself are supposed to be outnumbered in their war, but because of certain things that happen that I don't want to get into for spoiler reasons, stuff happens, really. Let's put it that way. But that'll be interesting to talk about. So then also in episode 3, we're going to be getting probably the birth of Aegon II. So that should be interesting. That'll be interesting. We'll see Aegon's birth. I don't know if we're going to get Aemon's birth in this episode, but that'll be interesting to see. I'm going to be honest, I joined the stream, but I can't hear anything since I is watching a movie. I hate to see that. Tell him to shut the movie off. I want to see how the politics about the war between the Iron Throne and Free Cities, because technically the Iron Throne doesn't support the war, but obviously Targaryen and the Velaryons are. Yeah, agreed. That's something that should be very interesting as well, because in Fire and Blood, it's kind of hinted at that, Viserys does support the war. Like, he supports Daemon, and that he's putting his efforts to good use, but he doesn't like send them forces or anything. He kind of just gives them the blessing to do the said attack. Why do you think Mushroom is cut from the show, especially since he is super important in Fire and Blood? I think people would just compare Mushroom to Tyrion. Like, I feel like that would be a distraction, and I don't know. Personally, I think they should have left Mushroom in the show. There is a chance we still see Mushroom, but just more as like a cameo type thing, because Ryan Condal did say we would see Mushroom, but seeing as though he's already been excluded up to this point, you'd have to think he's just going to be some sort of cameo, or maybe we see him in the background. So maybe that's what ends up happening. I want to see how they handle that aspect. Agreed. I think it's going to be a really interesting thing to see how they handle that in episode probably 3 and 4. Also, I wanted to say, what was I going to say here? Never mind. All right, Glossy. So excited to see the tension between Rhaenyra and Alicent next. Agreed. See, Rhaenyra is my favorite character, so anything revolving Rhaenyra will be my favorite aspect of the episode. But yeah, no, I'm really excited to see how they continue to build their relationship. If it's going to be one of those things where Rhaenyra maybe accepts it a little bit more with Alicent, and maybe they kind of have like a little reunion, because we have that shot where it's like Rhaenyra with like maybe a necklace or something, and then Alicent over her, that maybe we're going to see them kind of make up a little bit, and then it kind of falls apart again. So I'll be interested to see how that ends up happening, because what I thought was weird in the way that like that's handled between Alicent and Viserys is that Viserys doesn't think to tell Rhaenyra about this. Like it would have gone so much better if like Viserys and Alicent, like you just put them in a room with Rhaenyra, and they kind of talk it through and kind of talk about why this is happening. Maybe that would have gone better, because it wouldn't have been as a shock, and it wouldn't have felt like a betrayal almost. Because I think one thing that we see with Rhaenyra going into episode 3, she's very much going to feel alone. And I think what they did well here is that that's going to maybe lead her to Criston Cole. That's probably going to be a big reason why she turns to having Criston Cole as a companion. So I think that aspect is really good, how because of what Alicent and Viserys do in that regard, it makes Rhaenyra go to someone like Kristen Cole. I'm neutral on Mushroom being on the show. I think Mushroom just doesn't fit with what they're going for, because as we've seen so far in House of the Dragon, there hasn't been a lot of, I guess, funny scenes. It's been a very high tension, and it's been a lot of just very serious tone that I think adding in Mushroom would be hard to do, because it would feel like it'd be contradictory to the actual tone of the show. Because if you don't know, for anyone in the stream that doesn't know, Mushroom is basically a jester for King Viserys, and then also then Rhaenyra. But he kind of I feel like he kind of conflicts that whole idea. Have you watched Gilda's Bliss take on House of the Dragon? I have not. I haven't really watched a lot of House of the Dragon content in general, outside of like a couple videos here and there. Just because, like, I don't want to overload myself with it, because I'm already doing like 2 streams a week on it, doing a video outside of that, and then also probably doing a preview video, as well as then making here and there like individual videos about the show. I just don't want to like overload myself on that stuff. But yeah, I want to see a large Navy battle, something we have never really seen before on television. That is correct. That would be really cool if we did get to see that. There's going to be definitely a lot of opportunities if they want to go that route. Rhaenyra would probably suspect Otto was up to something if she was in a room with Alicent or her dad, because no. Wait, hold on. Because Alicent acts differently around other people. That's true. I mean, I think Rhaenyra probably suspects Otto already, just based upon the fact that this was done so secretively. And Rhaenyra is I feel like she's pretty smart for her age, right? When it comes to picking the Kingsguard, she picks Kristen Cole because he actually has battle experiences, which is something that's very important, right? Because back in the beginning times of the Kingsguard, it was established to protect the king and the queen and the family. And that's something that gets lost by the time of Game of Thrones or Song of Ice and Fire time, where we have people like Meryn Trant, who, it's like, why are they here? They're not really good swordsmen. They're not good people. Very corrupt kind of Kingsguard. And this time, it's a very good time for the Kingsguard. So that, I think, is an interesting aspect to Rhaenyra, where I think she kind of already understands that. If you look at Otto Hightower, he kind of already has control over everything going on. Like, the fact that Otto Hightower can tell the king that, yeah, no, you should not go to Dragonstone, I'm going to go. Like, think about how that would have played if it would have been Joffrey. Like, let's say Joffrey is the king, or Robert. Let's say Robert. If someone had said that to him, they would have literally looked at him and been like, would you like to get your head cut off? Like, that's just not the way you speak to a king. So I think that's interesting in the way that I think most people know that Otto Hightower is in control. Something that I think is interesting is that Corlys Velaryon doesn't really say anything. This is something, he doesn't really call out Otto Hightower's bullshit, right? And is it because Corlys isn't really, like, in his element, like he doesn't have the most power in King's Landing, that he's maybe scared that Otto Hightower could get him imprisoned or something like that, or whisper in Viserys' ear or something like that? So I don't know. It is interesting on the way that Otto Hightower kind of is being handled in this show. Jack Sparrow cameo? Definitely. Would you like a mini-series focused on Robert's Rebellion? I would, but not yet. I want to see, personally, Winds of Winter and A Dream of Spring be finished before we even touched Robert's Rebellion. I think Robert's Rebellion for me is too close to the main series for me to want to see that yet. It's kind of like the Jon Snow like sequel. It's like, it's directly after the events of Game of Thrones, right? But at the same time, it's like, why is George being involved in this, right? Well, like, you know. Hey, bro, do you want to hear House of the Dragon opening song composed by my brother? I would love to. Drop me a link and I will listen to it at some point. I'll give it a good screenshot. Otto is like Tywin. Otto's actor was, yes, agreed. Otto is I've always compared Otto to Tywin. That's kind of how I look at that character. Something that I think was a really good, that I brought up and in my reviews in past, and people have kind of said for me, is that Sansa is very much kind of like Alicent, and Rhaenyra is a bit more like Arya in their personalities. But if you even take that a bit further, I think Alt-Shift-X really made a good point of Alicent's kind of being put in a very weird situation where she's kind of following orders, trying to be this politically correct person where they follow their king, follow their father, do the things that they want, and it's putting her in an awkward situation where she feels uncomfortable with biting her fingernails and stuff like that, like Otto suggests. So it is interesting to see the way that is paralleled. There's a lot of parallels to other characters from Game of Thrones in that regard. A build up to Robert's rebellion would be, I would love a show about Tywin, right? Like the Tarbeck and Castamere kind of thing going on there. I think that would be a really awesome one because it's like, it's far enough away for me from Game of Thrones that it would be really cool. And Tywin's still a very beloved character. So that would kind of be a really good idea for me. Thoughts about the Maester conspiracy within House of the Dragon? I feel like they are confirming that the Maesters work with the Hightowers. So, yes. There's a couple main things here that are very obvious to... It's almost like a wink to the camera, right? So, the first big piece of evidence that they've used on the... Oh, by the way, Indie Geek, by the way, fantastic. I've referenced him on a lot of videos in the past when it comes to theories. Great YouTuber, by the way. But the whole idea of the Maester conspiracy has already come off of the idea that when Viserys kind of tells Maelys and Otto who is he going to marry or who has been proposed, he goes, you know, he says it, right? And then you have this weird look that Maelys and Otto kind of get. Like, they like give each other a weird look. And it's like they're sitting here like, that's not part of the plan. You know, that's not what we want, right? And there's other situations where it's like Otto Hightower and Maelys seem to be completely coordinating. If you look at the situation with Viserys' wife, right? And it's one of those things where it's like the Maesters come straight to Otto, not Viserys, when Viserys is the king. And it's like there's a lot of situations where it seems like the Maesters are definitely in cahoots with the Hightowers. And if you look at the Hightowers as a whole, the Hightowers come from Old Town where the Maesters kind of originate. It's just a lot of subtle winks. And there's a whole idea of, are the Maesters kind of killing Viserys? I think there is some validity to it, because if you look at the idea that this hand is getting infected and it's just not healing, that's very odd. When it's apparently his cut from the throne, it's very odd that they can't figure out a way to heal it. And then also, instead of just fixing the problem, right, the Maesters could be like, yes, we need to just take the hand, or we need to take the finger. Instead of giving him a choice and being very stern on it, it seems like they want him to slowly die, but not before he remarries to someone like Alicent and then has children that are Hightowers. There's a lot of situations where that kind of is brought up. There's more situations like that within the show. But yes, I think they're definitely saying and winking at that there is definitely something going on, which excites me a lot, because there is going to be a certain situation. It's the biggest one that I'm looking forward to that I can't say on here because it's going to be a big time reveal, or not a reveal, but a big time event that happens at the end of season 1 that I can't really talk about, but it's something that I'm going to see how they play it, because it's, in my opinion, in my Maester Conspiracy series, if you guys have watched it, it's one of the biggest winks that, hey, everybody can't read. Lords can't read. A lot of lords can't read. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. So who are the people reading said letters? You know? All right. Let me go back up because I talked about that for quite a bit because it is a big topic. I just want to see Robert come out of the brothel and nearly kill John Con. That would be an awesome scene. Who is your favorite A Song of Ice and Fire YouTuber? Oh, that's a tough one. I would say, because this is interesting because I go through my spurts with a lot of YouTubers. Like, so there was a time where I got into Order of the Green Hand because a lot of their stuff was just different, right? A lot of their theories were a lot different. They had a lot of insightful videos, but there's just things that like I just disagree with. Like Ned Nashara is one of their big like theories, and I just kind of just shit on their theory. I don't know. I just don't like their theory very much. Even though I think it has a lot of like, we're not gonna get into Ned Nashara. Just know I don't like the theory. I would probably say In Deep Geek or Alt Shift X. I think are probably my favorites. In Deep Geek and Grease Goblin collab. Maybe. Maybe. I don't know about that. I gave you the link of the song on your Instagram because YouTube doesn't work. All right. I will check that out after the stream. I don't actually have my phone. I could use it on my... I could look it up on my PC, but I'll do it after the stream. I always love when fictional tinfoil hat characters influence real tinfoil hat people. Agreed. I wonder where Viserys got the idea that the dragons should never have been trifled with. So... I think personally it's because he rode Balerion the Black Dread, which is like, thinking about it in today's terms, it's like basically piloting the most dangerous missile on the planet, right? And I think he's seen kind of what the dragons can do and their, I guess, problems, I guess, they can cause, which, again, the dragons also help create a lot of peace if you do it the way Jaehaerys did it, but they can also cause a lot of problems. So I think he is just someone that, very similar to another character we're going to talk about towards the end of Fire and Blood, was not a huge fan of the dragons. But also, okay, so also Glossy, in the context that you're talking about of where it's like the dragon should never have been trifled with in like Valyria and stuff like that. I don't know, because I was never my theory with how Valyria kind of came to its doom was basically that on the idea that probably somebody paid for that to happen, like to kill some of the blood mages that were kind of holding all the volcanoes together, and then eventually, because that balance is upset, eventually the volcanoes erupted. Do you think in later seasons we will see Old Town again? I think there is a chance we could see Old Town in the middle season. So they've said it will take maybe 4 seasons to get through the entire Dance of the Dragons. I think we could see it probably in either season. I think more likely season 2 or 3. Speaking of Jaehaerys, how come he didn't fly Balerion? That is true. No, Liam. Maegor. I thought Maegor had. Hold on. Did Maegor have? I thought he had Vhagar. Oh no. Because never mind. Yeah. So Maegor had him. I always get confused with the dragons and the dragon riders. But yeah, Maegor had him. I got confused because I was like, Visenya had Vhagar, but yeah. You're right there, Liam. Does anyone else actually want a 10,000 ships prequel? I feel like I'll be honest, Glossy, I'm not that excited for it. Like, I'd watch it if it came out, but like, okay, let me gauge my excitement levels. Jon Snow, bottom of the barrel. I don't give a shit about the Jon one. Like, I'm gonna watch it to watch it because it's just what my channel's based on. But don't care, really. I don't really care that much because, again, it's not adding anything. It's adding to Game of Thrones, which I don't give a shit about anyway, especially at the end of the seasons. And then it's building Jon, who is a character that I think was one of my least, like, the Targaryen reveal helped his character, but then they didn't do anything with it, so I just didn't care. So I think the whole idea of a Jon sequel or prequel or sequel doesn't make any sense. 10,000 Ships is probably like the next one. I think the next up above that would be Dunk and Egg. But yeah. We need a Song of Ice and Fire history movies. I could see that. Because I think there's a lot of situations in Targaryen history that you could literally do that idea. But during his 60-year reign, didn't he flew him once? It must have got fat. No wonder he couldn't fly to Dragonstone, LOL. I don't know. I don't know, man. I get lost in the dragons. I'm not as interested in the dragons, really. But I think my thing with Jaehaerys, I think, one, Balerion was getting older, so he probably didn't want to fly as much. And two, I think it's kind of awkward if you're Jaehaerys to be riding Maegor's dragon, which was going to be openly opposing you, and then killed like your brother. I think that was, yeah, that's kind of weird. Dunk and Egg show was gonna, yeah, but I think it also makes sense because let's think about it from a logical point of view. And when I was saying I wanted a Dunk and Egg show, I was saying when we actually got it completed, because George said it's going to take like 10 novellas to actually finish Dunk and Egg's arc or story. And the whole idea there would be, okay, let's not repeat the cycle of starting a show before everything's like ready. Like it's not all out. So I don't know. I really want an animated show. I always see some scenes animated on Twitter and it looks so cool. Yeah, I think that'd be a really good idea for an animated show. I think they could do Dunk and Egg as one, but you know, I think they gotta probably wait till George writes something. I think that's the catalyst for everything. Just wait till George writes it. And he keeps doing more projects, and he just, I don't know. Kit Harington read the Song of Ice and Fire books, and he is in charge of the project. So, but my thing is, like, Young Wolf, why do I care anymore? Because his entire story is going to basically come out of what happened at the end of Game of Thrones. I don't care anymore. It's not Jon to me. Jon's character died in season 5. Like, that's how I look at it, right? Like, when Jon died in season 5, that was when Jon Snow really died. And then something else took over. A much more hollow and boring character. The only thing I can think of is that he bonded with Varamir before he could get Balerion. That's true, but I just don't think he wanted to go with Balerion, just based upon, like, what, like, the circumstances of why Balerion didn't have a rider, I guess. What spinoff you think is better, House of the Dragon or Lord of the Rings or Better Call? So right off the bat, I can't really rank Lord of the Rings because I haven't seen anything, so I'm just basing that one off the trailers. But if I was gonna rank them, I think you have to do Better Call Saul first because it's a completed show. It was really good. I think it was very good. It satisfied all the characters, but we're comparing that to House of the Dragon, which has only 2 episodes. So, like, I think by the end of season 1, that's going to flip-flop. I'm going to say House of the Dragon. But at the moment, I would say Better Call Saul, House of the Dragon, and Lord of the Rings. There's no way D&D read them. No, they didn't. I think that's hard. Because I think D&D, to a degree, paraphrased it. Like, I think they got basically a summary for, like, maybe each thing, or they had someone tell them what happened and then what major plot points. But I don't think I just don't think they read it, actually, because they did for the most part do a decent job the first 4 seasons. They just left out details, and then they started compressing everything together. Because something that Alt Shift X said in his live stream that bothered me was that one of the big problems with Game of Thrones and why it just didn't work out is because the books weren't done. And yes and no, because to me, season 5 and 6, or season 5, let's say season 5, you still had book material, but yet they still fucked it. Like, season 5 was not a good season. Like it was okay during the time because we thought maybe it was going to set up season 6 to be really good. Which season 6 to me, I think is a very divisive season. But season 5, they screwed up the Dorne plotline. They screwed up the Greyjoy plotline, and that's because they were trying to skim through things. And if you look at how much Winds of Winter, how long it's going to be, how long Dream of Spring is going to be, I just really think it wouldn't have mattered. Still think the quality of the show had been decreasing ever since the end of season 4, right? So I don't think the books being written would have really helped all that much. George wrote the novellas already. He just can't release them because of spoilers for Winds of Winter, and that makes sense. I could see that. But yeah, so getting also back into kind of what's going to be happening in episode 3. I think we're going to see Rhaenyra has to probably by the end of the episode at least be betrothed to Laenor. Like we get like, okay, Rhaenyra, this is who you're going to marry. I don't think that the marriage itself is going to happen in in episode 3, but I think it's going to be announced in episode 3. So, because I don't know though, because Criston Cole, we know him and Rhaenyra are going to get buddy in this next episode, right? That's going to happen, but the question is going to be how quickly do they go? Right, so this is a question that I think is very interesting, and I think it has a wide variety of answers to it. Is what do you guys think of the pacing of House of the Dragon through the first 2 episodes? Would you say it's just right? Would you say it's too slow? Would you say it's too fast? Because I've seen everyone answer that question differently. I've seen some people say it's too slow, like certain things are not happening that quickly, but then I've also seen people say things are happening too fast, whereas a lot of things are happening very quickly. And then there's like me where I think it's just right. Because if you look at what they're having to do, they're having to adapt a lot of things that happen in months ahead of time, right? And they don't want to be doing every single episode where it's like, okay, now we skip a year in advance. So, yeah. They didn't do enough. So I disagree, Liam. I think they did enough in episode 2. I really liked episode 2 because it needed, I think for me, they needed to sit back and just have kind of a character development episode, because a lot of the things that are going to happen later on in this season and even the next few seasons is going to really rely on what are your reactions with these characters. How do you feel with these characters? But yeah. Yes, Young Wolf. This is something, again, that there's like 2 or 3 events in the show, and a lot of them are going to happen in season 1, that I'm very interested to see how they do it. And that is one. Because the way I've always discussed it, right, is that this is a big spoiler. So big spoiler here. If you do not want spoilers, skip like 2 minutes in the future. But the thing is, when you look at Rhaenyra and Criston Cole, look at the after effects, because we don't really know, we can't really tell he said, she said on who kind of spurned the other. Did Rhaenyra reject Criston Cole? Did Criston Cole reject Rhaenyra? We can't tell off of the moment. We don't really have any information there. But if you look at the after effects, Criston Cole is very angry. He's kind of unnecessarily kind of a jerk, kind of, really. And Rhaenyra kind of goes about her business. Rhaenyra acts almost as like nothing really happened. She doesn't like Criston Cole, but she kind of holds herself better. She's way more mature about what happens after. Or that's at least what we're told in Fire and Blood. They could revert that. Who knows? And I think, for me, it makes the most sense that Rhaenyra rejected Criston Cole. Just because of how he reacts afterwards. But they could go a different way in the show. I don't know. And I've also even thought that in the books that this was kind of a ploy that Otto Hightower and the Hightowers as a whole could have been trying to get Kristen Cole to sleep with Rhaenyra, just as basically a smear campaign. I talk a lot about in the Maester Conspiracy video that the Maesters and Otto Hightower really early on in Rhaenyra's life tried to kind of smear her and give her like a bad image, which is something we haven't gotten too much into the show yet, but it's something that eventually is going to happen. If we already see like Rhaenyra is already kind of making Otto Hightower look bad, right? When she's the one that ends up saving the day at Dragonstone and kind of makes him look like a chump. It's something that Otto Hightower starts going against Daemon for the exact reason. So I think that's going to be interesting to see how they talk about that in the show. I liked episode 2, but I expected more things to happen. See, I'm the opposite, Liam. Well, okay, no, I'm not the opposite. I expected them to go a lot faster than they did. I'm glad they didn't, though, because I expected in episode 2 we were already going to have like an Alicent and Viserys marriage, like actually seeing a marriage, and that didn't happen. So I'm actually glad they didn't do that. Goblin, we aren't even introduced to half the characters. We got to move fast. I mean, yes, they do have to move fast, but I think because they're doing 4 seasons, I think they are allowed to kind of keep it a little bit slower. They have to give Rhaenys more scenes at King's Landing now that Corlys is in the Stepstones, but it would be nice to see her fighting the Stepstones. Agreed. I really hope we get more of Rhaenys. I really hope, as shit starts to kind of hit the fan, I hope we get more Rhaenys and Rhaenyra. I think they are going to be a really great combination together, and their scenes are going to be very powerful. I think it's going a bit too fast for my liking. A lot of things I feel like I could have been fleshed out more, and things I wanted to see, but I get why they... Yeah. So that's the issue, right? Is there's a lot of people, right, like Matthew, that are like, okay, it's going a little too quick for me, right? Like, I'd like it to slow down a bit. And there's other people that are like, okay, we need to go faster, right? Because we got to get to things. And I'm kind of in the middle. I think I see why they're doing this, why they have to go fast, but I also kind of like when we stick back and we kind of develop our characters and we kind of have these nice kind of moments where we have like a scene with Alicent and Rhaenyra just talking, and we have a lot of talking scenes and maneuvering kind of scenes, which I really like. I think Kristen Cole rejected Rhaenyra, then she went to Harwin, and my problem with that, Liam, is like, why would Kristen Cole get mad in that situation? Like, Kristen Cole is just like he's just like, Rhaenyra, I don't want you that way, you know, like, yeah, and all that. Why would he be mad at her for going to some other dude? Like, I just don't... I definitely think it was... I don't know. I'm about 50-50 with the show, because I think the show is definitely painting as that Rhaenyra has some sort of feelings for him, but I'm not completely sure on that. But, all right, give me a second, guys. Okay. Hold on. Let me go back up to the comments a little bit. It's not even that. It's just the story history book or history book. So there's a massive time between major and important. Agreed. That is true. There's a lot of like. The thing is with the start of that kind of chapter, or I guess that chapter of building up to what will eventually be the Dance of the Dragons. there's a lot of situations where we like you have just okay, event happens, we skip in time. The event happens, we skip in time. I agree with you on Matthew though. Like I could literally spend an entire season like, and we don't even get to what starts the Dance of Dragons. I could literally just sit there and watch this character version because I really like it. Why would she go to Harwin then? It's a tough question, but I don't know, Liam. So that's a good point. I think why she would go to Harwin instead then would be more or less like, so Criston Cole, right? He's sworn to the Seven. Or not sworn to the Seven, but sworn to like the Kingsguard, right? The Seven Kingsguard. And she knows like she can't really have a relationship with this dude at all. Like it's against her and all that stuff. And I think she would just be like, okay, if she wanted male companionship, she can just go to Harwin. I don't know though. I don't know. That's a good question, Liam. That's a good question. That's true, Billy Bob. I think he likes Alicent, to be honest. That could be true. Anyone else a low-key Green supporter? Jesse, I got my eye on you. I got my... That's treasonous words, what you just said in the chat. Very treasonous words. Like, you can't say that. Billy Bob, those are also treasonous words. Very treasonous. Matthew, you are... I expect more from you. That's treason right there. I mean, next episode we will see more of the relationship because it looks like he will follow her into the woods after she gets upset. This is correct. In the book, it speculates that Rhaenyra was taught how to please a man by Daemon. Then Mushroom said she disrobed in front of Criston Cole and he wasn't happy. Yeah, but it's Mushroom. Like I don't see, I just don't see Daemon and Rhaenyra, like their relation, especially the way it is in the show, that ever happens. I don't know, like, for me, like, that just doesn't fit Rhaenyra's character to me, but I don't know. So I think they will both be attracted to each other and have something, but it's forbidden, and Rhaenyra taking her duty seriously as heir and future king will push them apart. I definitely see that, Gloss. Yeah, I definitely can see that. But I will say, getting back to the original question, I think that does make sense what Billy Bob kind of says, where it's like, Rhaenyra kind of just wanted, like, male companionship for a night because she knows her husband's gay or bisexual, whichever. That, I think that's kind of what she wanted. But at the same time, I think Criston Cole probably wanted more. I think Criston Cole was offering her more like, okay, we can run away, and me and you can be together and all of that. And Rhaenyra's like, no, I can't just leave. You know? So I think that makes a sense for that. And then so then Rhaenyra goes to someone like Harwin, who she probably finds attractive, and does her thing. And I think Harwin's not gonna be someone that's like, yeah, I'm okay with being friends with benefits. Like I'm completely fine with that. So I think that's more what Rhaenyra was maybe looking for there. Let's go down here. Maybe she goes for political reasons. That's possible. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. That's possible. Stannis is my only king. Yes, Billy Bob. Stannis is my king, okay? But in this time period, Rhaenyra is the queen, okay? She is the one true queen, and you cannot argue that. You cannot argue that. Viserys names her the queen, or the heir. She is the queen. I don't believe Mushroom side. I think she disrobed. That's fair. You guys trust Mushroom? Okay. Well, if you guys trust Mushroom, do you guys trust that Daemon, quote unquote, slept with Alicent? Because that was also a Mushroom rumor. Daemon and young Rhaenyra fornicating in any way would be hard to watch. Not gonna lie, agreed. Who's Adam and Alan's father? I think, okay, I think that could be Corlys. I think I could see it. I could see it. What's up, my guy? How are you enjoying House of Dragons? I've been holding off so I can binge. Do you think it's worth it? I agree. I think it's worth it. Hella worth it. But I love it so far. I think first episode was a very strong start. I think it was really good. I had a couple issues with it that I think they addressed in episode 2. And then I think episode 2 was a really good one. It was a lot more of a political type episode. It reminds me a lot of the early seasons of Game of Thrones, where it's a lot of people sitting around having conversations, other people like having their own motives, and a lot of kind of political maneuvering going on. Simp, hey dude, I like my girl Rhaenyra. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. But when it comes to Dany is the one true queen, Glossy, that's where me and you part ways. I am more of a Fagon over Dany guy as well. I won't lie. But then Stannis, yeah, I agree. I agree with you, Liam. I think you've got it down pretty well there. But yeah, Casper, I would say it is worth it. Also, how are you doing as well? But see, that's the intrigue that I have, because we're coming up to one of my 3 most anticipated parts of the entire series, because they're just things I don't know what's going to happen, right? Because there's other events that are going to be really cool, right? That are going to be really cool. But that I know what happens. So it's like, it's going to be cool to see, but you know. Damn. Yep. Wait, Glossy, weren't you getting censored by YouTube in one of the like last few streams? Weren't you the one that like you couldn't put in like cuss words or anything like that? Because you better watch that language if that was so. Burn the heretic off with her lady. Whoa, no. Me and Glossy agree that Rhaenyra is the one true queen of right now. But, you know. Balon the worst? Yeah. You got him? Oh, wait, hold on. What? Yes, that was me? Yeah. Imagine getting censored. Oh, boy. But yeah, so that's going to be interesting to see kind of how they do that whole idea. I do think it's interesting that they're more or less going to do the entire Criston Cole Rhaenyra plotline in one episode, unless they bring it out an extra episode. I hope they do, because I think if they do it in one episode, I think it's going to not come off as well. But Matthew asked a very interesting question. That was the exact question that was asked to Alt Shift X in a video. So I'm a little sus of that, Matthew. But do you think once the dance is done that they will continue House of Dragon with the Blackfire Rebellion? I don't think that they will do that right away. I think if they were going to do something after House of the Dragon, I think they're going to end it on season 4 when it's like over, right? And then I think what they would do after that, if they see it was a success, is they would do Aegon's Conquest. I think that's what they would do next. And then maybe they would do the Blackfire Rebellions. That's what I would say. No, she was saying, or yeah, I know that she was saying Dany was a true queen, and that's not it, right? That's a L take. But with that being said, Rhaenyra is the queen, and me and Glossy see eye to eye on that. Okay, we're Team Black all the way. Really, the whole first season should have had young actors. I kind of agree with Jesse on that, because I think you really could have done the entire first season with the younger actors. But at the same time, I think it is a television show that needs to get to the high points, and we can't really be on character building the entire time, because it has to keep people entertained, right? So, what about the queen that never was? Hey, Rhaenys is my girl too. I think Rhaenys should have been queen over Viserys too. Rhaenys would have been a way better ruler. But, you know, they are both my sisters. Like, y'all don't understand. Rhaenyra and Dany over everyone. I can support you on the Rhaenyra take. I can't support you on the Dany take. I just can't. Okay, like, you know, I just can't. Me and Rhaenyra have a very like special bond when it came to Maester conspiracy, like researching. I spent a lot of time with Rhaenyra. I will miss I will miss Millie as Rhaenyra, but I'm excited for Emma. They will kill it. Yeah, I agree. Maybe they can do flashbacks then? Maybe they could. Glossy, the steak is looking quite tempting when you start talking. Hey. Billy Bob, you're not a supporter of Rhaenyra, so I think we should burn you by the dragon. Bro, Jon Snow is a true king. I'm not talking about King of the North. I'm talking about the king of the Seven Kingdoms. God damn it. Aegon VI or say the 7th of his Aegon VI or 7th of his name, depending on Fagon. Hey. First of all, Young Wolf. First of all, the actor that plays, or the actress that plays Rhaenyra is actually only a month younger than me in real life. So I think I have a shot. All right, that's all I'm gonna say. And then two. Jon Snow is a valid candidate because he does fit R plus L. But yeah. LOL, YouTube finally censored me. You had it coming, Billy Bob. You had it coming. As Glossy says, you had it coming. Would you agree that if Rhaenys was queen, that the Blackfire Rebellions wouldn't have happened? I think a lot of things wouldn't have happened if Rhaenys was queen. If Rhaenys had become queen, right? Let's think about how everything changes. So Rhaenys and Corlys Velaryon are now in control of the kingdoms. If you look at who they are, they're kind of like a no bullshit family. Like they're just like very direct, very honest. That shit in the Stepstones that starts happening? Nah. Okay, first of all, the whole Seven Kingdoms would have been, we'd have been calling in some oaths, okay? Whole Seven Kingdoms going against the Stepstones, they're getting their asses kicked, okay? That ain't happening. And then I think with the whole succession, you wouldn't have had any problems either. And even with Viserys having Rhaenyra, what would have been happening because Corlys is now in power, probably would have been Rhaenyra ends up still marrying Laenor, probably. So I think, yeah, I think the succession would have. I think the dragons would have still been a huge power. For me, I genuinely think that eventually, I think there would have been a civil war at some point, but which is hard to predict at this point. But I think the Dance of Dragons would never have happened. All right, let's go back up. Jon Snow is a fart. He will never be the one true king. I kind of agree with Glossy. Like, I really don't want Jon to become king. R plus L does not equal J. Liam. Yes, it does. Just accept it. Just accept it. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Otto Hightower, aka Middlefinger, is slick. Agreed. I said all the dirty words and I was fucking censored. Wow. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I'm simping over young Alicent. Well, I don't know how old young Alicent is in real life, so be careful. Bastard is censored? It's clearly not because you just typed it, Young Wolf. This is an outrage. To be on the council and not be a master, it's unfair. Well, don't go kill any kids, Billy Bob. That's all I'm going to say. Kristen Cole is the hottest man to appear in the show universe. Glossy, I very much disagree with your take there. I think big old Bobby B was definitely the hottest man to appear in the show. Like, I am a straight man, but Bobby B was a different man. Okay, he was on a different level. Spoiler, but isn't her son the king after the war? No comment. Yeah, I'm gonna just no comment. Yeah, no comment. Miss Arya is very sexy. Her accent kills me though. I was not a fan of her accent. I'm gonna be honest. I was not a fan. But yeah, she is a very attractive woman, which is weird because in the book, Miss Arya is kind of explained as being like older and like pale, and she's quite the opposite of that in the show, which is kind of weird. So yeah, Billy Bob, you gotta stop. You gotta stop. You're gonna get canceled. Samwell, Pink Masked Harley is hottest. Oh, that's a good shout. That's a good shout. That's a good shout. I'm simping for Rainies. You know what? I can respect that, Matthew. You seem like a guy that would go after Rainies. Billy Bob, you just gotta stop. You gotta stop. Brad Pitt should have played Hot Pie. Ooh, Hot Pie was a snack too. That's a good point. Billy Bob, execute Order 66. Get him, Quentin. Get him. Pedro Pascal is very handsome, no homo. I love how we're just going into who's good looking. Exactly, Jesse. Notice how the Dornish are the sexiest. Consistently. God, we gotta stop. Bro, Bobby B, what are you talking about? Maester. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. I love the Cougar. Yeah, we know, Matthew. We know. Trust me. We know. Yeah, Matthew was kind of an old Lena Tyrell type of guy in Game of Thrones. That he felt a different type of way when she came on screen. All right. What's some other things that's going to happen in episode 3? What are your guys' expectations for the War in the Stepstones? Do you guys think it's going to get resolved in like 2 or 3 episodes? Do you think it's going to be a 1-episode type thing? What do you guys think? Give me your guys' predictions on the War of the Stepstones. Xaro was one of the hottest. He was a specimen of a lad, won't lie. Y'all wish you had them genes. That's all I'm going to say. You know, while I'm waiting for your guys' responses on that, let's just think of some good people. Though. Well, since I'm Anakin, at least I'm not a pedo. I'll kill the kid, but not. Oh no. No, Cersei. Why do you think she's a Lion of Lannister? Oh no, we gotta stop. Oh, Glossy, what did I just read? What? Are you okay? You're supposed to be one of the people that have sense in this chat. You got this guy Matthew over here talking about Lions of Lannisters, and then you got Billy Bob over here just going through the entire dictionary on bad words to say on YouTube, and you're out here like, the crab feeder. You know that guy that like just looks like his skin was like burnt, and you're... All right. Who's hotter, Book Masande or Show? Book Masande is like 13. Liam, like maybe 12. Like, Liam, are you okay? Liam, what's going on? It will probably last mid-season until they start up the dance storylines. Okay, I can see that. That's kind of where I hope it goes. Oh, you gotta stop, Young Wolf. Glossy, I need your explanation. Give me an explanation of why you think the crab feeder hits different, because we are not on the same wavelength right now. Grease needs the... Oh, God. Y'all need to stop. You need to stop. The crab feeder's actor is scary. Let's look up the crab... Okay, let's look him up right now. Let's see what Glossy's getting all excited about. Does it... What's his name, guys? Give me his name. I need his name. Who is Crab Feeder? Does it say an actor on here? Does not. Lads, I need a name for the Crab Feeder. 11, actually. 11, Liam. No, I won't ruin my image of him. The mask, it adds some... Glossy, you just like the mysterious dudes. Like, Glossy, you remind me of, like, some girl in high school, right? And like, you have all these dudes, okay? And you go for, like, the most, like, unique, weird-looking one there. Like, you know? Like, there's normal, like, athlete. You go for, like, the popular kid. You go for this. You pick the one that's, like, off by himself, who's got, like, some anger issues. I don't know. Tick. No, stop that. Stop that. Matthew, stop that. Daniel Scott Smith. Okay. All right. Why is there no picture? Let's oh my. That is a wow. I was not expecting that to be the wow. My statement really about glossy now it really stands tall. Like I just saw that man and like glossy we need to have a talk later. That's all I'm gonna say. You must really dig Darth Vader then? Yeah, I think that's definitely her type. Season 8 Arya. What? What is going on? Oh, imagine if the show had the scene where Arya strips naked and bathes because she was in the sewers. We gotta stop. We really gotta stop here. D&D had something for Maisie Williams. Like, they wanted. Like, they just, yeah. My taste actually says so much about it. Show a pic of... Okay, hold on. Let me go to... Do I have a screen for... Will this help? Yeah, this will help. Okay, here we go. Nope, this ain't it. That was not at all what I wanted you guys to see. Oh, I X'd it out, fuck. Well... Too late. It's too late. I was gonna show you guys, but it's too late. Dude, he's a scary dude though. Like, I closed it out. I was gonna show you guys, but I closed it out. So instead, you guys got to look at my Amazon of things I'm buying for the background. Yeah, look up a pic, Glossy, and then you'll understand. Grease, what's your YouTube password? Liam Roberts is not funny. Have you seen Maisie Williams recently? I have not. Is she on? Oh God, what happened to Maisie Williams? What? I wish they cast James Purefoy as Dan. That would have been a good one. See, well, he has a mask for a reason. Glossy, I don't even know. Like I feel like it's even more insulting. Let's look at Maisie Williams. Let's see how Maisie Williams has been doing lately. She got a lot of PTSD. I need a recent image. I don't feel like these are recent. Oh. I don't know if that's recent, but she does look high as hell in that. Okay, all right. We're gonna skip past that. Maisie, okay, guys. Stop. We gotta stop. Maisie Williams saved the Seven Kingdoms. Well, you guys can't be like slaughtering her, okay? Y'all gotta calm down. You gotta calm down. Let's just say she went Targaryen. Hot take: Kit Harington was only hot in season 1. Glossy, what was the big difference from like season 1 to like season like 5? If anything, he gets more scars. I thought you women liked when dudes get scars. But then, okay, you know what, Glossy? I gotta take your opinions with a very grain of salt. Because we know what you like, so. Are you gonna do a live stream for Rings of Power? I have a video going up Friday, I think, before it comes out. No, I have a video going up tomorrow. Tomorrow about Rings of Power. And then I'm going to probably do a live stream after it comes out as well. So, yeah. Its hairline started receding. Oh, no. Oh, God. And they added Sophie Turner scene with Durant. Okay. Why does that always get brought up in every stream? We got to stop. Rob is hot. You know, Richard Madden's an attractive dude. I won't lie. Hot take. Emilia Clarke was never a good actress. Billy Bob, I won't lie, okay? Her trying to speak Dothraki early on wasn't the best. I will say she wasn't the best. But you can't deny she was a good actress. Like, especially in like I think season 8, she literally had her peak of acting. Or like her best acting, and it was the worst season. Like the whole scene when Daenerys kind of goes mad and starts burning down the city, she does really good facial like expression and emotion. It's just it didn't make sense with the character because of the writing. She did a good job acting though. I think she did really good. Why wasn't Robb Stark a good accountant? Didn't have a head for okay. What? Didn't have a head for, oh god, we just need to stop. We gotta stop. The daughter of the captain is my okay. Alright. He did know ride Balerion because a person can only bond with one dragon. That's fair. I could see it. I could see that. You want to know why his hairline was receding? He didn't want it. Why did I do it? Why did I say that kind of? Oh god. Watch that Terminator movie she's in. I actually have not seen any other type of media content other than Game of Thrones for Emilia Clarke. I've not seen her in anything else. She was in Star Wars. Didn't see that Star Wars movie because I didn't care. Maybe if he didn't cheat on his wife 24/7. Wait, what? Wait, who are we talking about? Glossy, who are you talking about? Liam, at least she's older than Sansa and Yeah. Yeah. You know, y'all are just getting wild. Y'all are getting wild. Okay, we need to get back to House of the Dragon. I don't know what happened. We just went down this road that Glossy thought the dude was attractive, and then we went down a very dark path. And wait, Kit Harington cheats on his wife? That's unfortunate because I like Rose Leslie, so that's not what you like to see. Kit, you're just a shitter, honestly. That makes me not want to watch the Jon Snow show even more now, just because of that information. All right, so what have we not talked on in House of the Dragon yet? Okay, so let's get a poll. We're gonna do a poll. Let's do a poll. We're gonna do a poll because I want to get your guys' feedback on this. Maester conspiracy now the House of the Dragon. Yes or no? Yes or no? Edmure's actor is good. Yeah, Edmure had a really good actor. Hey, you know, I worship the goddess of tits and wine. I will say wine is very good. Yes, a lot. Some girl he slept with posted pictures of him and you hate to see that. You hate to see that. See, this is why I don't get into that things. Because now my opinion of Jon Snow has changed. Now when I see Jon Snow and you know, Ygritte in the cave, okay, I'm going to be thinking about, well, fuck. He's out here sleeping with other hoes. Like, what other wildlings is he taking into bed at night? You know, like, what? Man, that's not what you like to see. That's just not what you like to see. Can we get a screw you Kit in chat, please? Hey, Ewan McGregor abandoned his pregnant wife for do I just not know these things? Like, when did that happen? Rose seems like a nice lady, bro. If it's true, then I'm really disappointed in Johnny Boy, man. Johnny Boy's just not what we like to see. As did Rhaegar. Hey, like father, like son, I guess. I think the story will get more interesting once the dance starts because they will have multiple locations. Agreed. I don't know how much we're going to see of them, but When can we get a quote tier list for the stream? Young Wolf, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know. Because a lot of these streams are gonna be focused on House of the Dragon and stuff like that, so. What do you think of Caraxy's Roar BTW at Dragonstone? I actually liked it. I think it gave personality to the dragon, something that we didn't see in Game of Thrones. So I liked that idea of it. So I don't know. I don't mind it. I thought it was fine. What's a Tory? I have to agree. I don't really know what a Tory is either, Glossy. Let me know what a Tory is. I think no, because I don't see the writers wanting to do it. What do you mean, Billy Bob? Like, on the multiple location thing? But I agree. I thought it was good. Did you know Roz Leslie is actually... How do you say it? Is it Rose Leslie or is it like Roz Leslie? Is it actually a lady, like a lady and noble lady in real... That's actually crazy if she is. It's even more crazy out of all the women in the show that are actual like ladies and all that. She gets the one character that's a wildling that doesn't have that status and doesn't believe in that status. It's kind of funny. Wildlings would support him because he gets multiple hoes. Hey. No. 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 That's not the Tormund way. That's all I'm gonna say. That's not the way. Aemon's actor was the biggest player. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Evidently being kissed by fire doesn't mean shit. I agree, Matthew. I agree. No, on the Grand Maester conspiracy, I don't think they'll do. Oh, okay, that's fair. I don't think they're gonna go fully through it, but I think they're hinting at it, which I like. Oh, okay. All right. So she's probably a little snooty, is what you're trying to say, Glossy. You're saying she's a little, you know. Wait, hold on. Now, see, you guys are playing with me here. I want to know what it actually means. What is the definition of slang? Yeah, I would like to know. Holds political based on a which. Oh, yeah, no, we don't like to see that. That's not what you like to see. That doesn't seem so good. So they're a deep conservative. Let's say that. Well, let's put it at that. To translate for the American folk that don't know what the fuck these British people be talking about, she's a very conservative, and let's leave it at that. The girl who slept with Kit was probably a Renly supporter. That makes sense. Those Renly supporters always fucking people up. I mean, look how they screwed over our boy Stannis, so Stannis had to take it into his own hands. And here's Kit, you know, he's getting tempted by the dark side. Cheating on his wife. It's just crazy. It's craziness. Why do people do that? I don't understand. Well, Liam, you're Canadian. Go make some maple syrup. Oh, did you actually hear they might cameo Melisandre? I heard this. I get why, right? Because she's supposed to be super old and all that. But it would feel so forced. Like, I really hope they don't do that. We got two Canadians. Two Canadians in the chat. All right. You guys, you Canadians must be weird. That's all I'm learning from this stream. You guys must be weird. But I think that is where we're going to wrap up the stream. For the most part. I don't really got much else to talk about on episode 3. And we're getting a little wild, okay? Because usually once we get to the point where we start getting a little wild and we start, you know, having some moments in here like people liking Missandei in the books and, you know, liking the crab feeder. It's time. You know, it's time. Because you guys start getting a little too drunk. And if I keep going on the stream, you guys are going to keep drinking more alcohol. Or you're going to be getting too high. So we got to chill. We got to chill. Chill out a little bit. I agree, Glossy. I agree. Glossy, or where are you from? Where are you from? But see, you know the word Tory, so I'm assuming you're from Europe. Because nobody in America out here be going, they're a Tory. That's just, we don't talk like that. Girl, chill out. She might be all right. At least she ain't cheating on her. That's true. But she do have some interesting takes. 10 more minutes? No. Okay, maybe. I would hate that if it only makes sense for her coming to Stannis to be the only time she came to Westeros. Agreed. Billy Bob, you worry about your own moments. That's all I'm gonna say. But I'm from. No, you're not, Glossy. No, you're not. You're not from America. I did. What are you saying? There's no way. I can't, like, if I asked, like, if I went into, like, a group chat right now, like my friends, and I asked them what was a Tory, not a single one would know what it is. Maybe you're more educated. Maybe you're more educated. That's true. In my experience, the women in my life are better at English and understanding, like, literature and stuff than most men, so I guess it makes sense, but are you saying that I'm drinking underage? Yeah. That's exactly what I'm saying, Liam. Glossy, you don't bully Canadians or Canadian, otherwise you're going to find yourself in a sticky situation. Glossy, you probably are smarter than my friends. My friends are pretty dumb. Like, yeah, they're pretty dumb. They're nice. Like, they're good supporters, and they're good friends, but in the smart aspect of it, I don't know. Greece, what's your address? Hold on. I gotta remember it. I haven't given my address out in a while. It is 315 Storms End Avenue, Massachusetts. And then it's Stormlands, Massachusetts. And then I don't know the zip code, sorry. I'm half Hungarian, though, if that means anything, not British, though. Greece is from Wisconsin. You think I'm from Wisconsin? I'll give you a hint. I'm within probably like 10 hours of Wisconsin. Maybe. I don't know exactly. I will say, I have said what state I live in on stream before, so you all gotta watch the streams better. That's all I gotta say. If you ever see Diablo back in here, you can ask him. He'll know. All right, I gave you guys an extra, like, 3-4 minutes, okay? All right, we're going to end the stream so I can eat because I'm a hungry boy. Oh, I will say. Actually, before we go. This background that you see, lads, you'll have it for about 1 more week's worth of videos and probably about 2 more streams, but then it's done. It's done. I'm going to give you guys a little sneak peek. Little sneak peek. I'm going to show you what's going to be in the background. I don't have the other piece yet, and I'm going to have some other things, but I'm going to give you a little sneak peek. I'll be right back. I more or less have 3 of those banners that are going to basically go from, like, the ceiling, and then I also am going to get, like, I have a map of Westeros that I'm getting framed. It's going to be on, like, I think this side. And all that. And then we're going to have some lights. We're going to have some shelving so I can put, like, my books behind me. And, like, some other stuff. Should be good. But, yeah. Thank you guys all for watching. And I will see you guys in the next stream. Also, watch the Brandon and Ashara video that came out tonight. I thought it was pretty good. It was recommended by Ashley, so shout out to Ashley. And I'll see you guys in the next stream.